We are shopping for a piece of plywood to go underneath the transmission, and then we are going to go get a transmission jack that will hold the weight of the transmission. Martin and I are also trying to figure out what route we should go to get this thing fixed, because we have a couple different options and it's really hard to choose what's the best option.
You want me to pull up over there? I have to buy a marine piece because he's like, what are you using it for? I said, well, it's going to be on some casters and it's going to be about 800 pounds on it. He says, oh.
It's going to be on casters, like wheels?
No, not the plywood, the damn transmission jacks.
Oh.
And he's like, that's what you need. And that stuff is not cheap.
How much was it?
$130.
Oh my gosh. What are the odds we'd catch up to our truck just randomly on this road? It's almost like it was staged, but it wasn't. Let's go shopping.
Freight. Farmer freight. No, this is actually going to be writing on it. Custom.
3 bikes in one.
So we have 3 options for our engine issue. Number 1 is the most cost effective, but probably the longest taking of all, is we pull our engine out because the engine has to come out. The crankshaft is junk, so the engine has to come out. Now I can replace the crankshaft on this engine and not do anything else whatsoever, but the engine does have 830,000 miles on it on the cylinder head. It's just been rebushed and it's had, what's it called? Cam bearings put in. So, cam bearings, okay, cool, but the valves, the springs, everything else is still old. So I'd probably want to throw a cylinder head on it. That means taking the cylinder head off regardless, and putting it on the new engine. I mean, taking the cylinder off, what am I saying? And getting a new cylinder head on the engine, head gasket, seals, head bolts. So that's probably would cost us in the neighborhood of around, just engine parts alone, probably about 10,000-ish, maybe 11. Our option 2 is I found a short block for sale that's been rebuilt not long ago, and the reason why it doesn't have a cylinder head, the short block meaning it's just a block, no cylinder head. And I mean, it's loaded, it's got pistons, it's ready to go, it just needs a cylinder head put on it. Obviously there's no idler gear or timing gear because it's not there, but and no oil pan, but I mean I could get an oil pan from him because this engine came out of a W900. Now this guy rebuilt his engine at the shop and he reused his old cylinder head. Follow me? Cylinder head. Dropped the valve. and literally a fresh engine dropped the valve. So they pulled the engine out, and he ended up selling the truck or something for parts. I don't know the whole story behind it, but he sold the engine to the shop that built this engine. So they ended up putting a brand new Coincidence number 3 piston and sleeve in it, and you know, just a cylinder pack. So the engine basically has, he thinks it's got around 90-ish thousand since they rebuilt it, plus that one piston. So it's a fairly fresh short block, and I could get that for 14 without a core, plus a cylinder head gasket kit, bolts. I'd probably be in it for around 19 to 20. Now, here's our third scenario. There's a guy up in Washington that's selling a brand spanking new core.
What the heck are you talking about?
Engine, not a core. He's selling a brand spanking new engine. It's an X15 efficiency. Never been fired. It still has Cummins filters on it. It has warranty for 2 years. It has, but the problem with it is it's a 2450 ECM. Mine's a 2350. Ours. The only issue is, well, I can either use our harness and ECM, or I can, there's 2 pins that need to be switched to the wiring harness, and it should work in theory. But if not, I could use our old ECM and wiring harness, because it's basically the same engine, it's just different. So the 2450 ECM has a faster processor. That's pretty much the main difference with it. Now, that being said, that engine I can get for $30,000. And it's a fresh engine from Cummins. It's a crate engine with warranty. And it's basically, everything is brand new. You know, fuel injectors are new, turbocharger is new, everything is new. So that's kind of our other option. And being that it's Sunday, the day before Labor Day, we have to make our decision by tonight, because if I choose to go any route but the crate engine, I have to probably get the cylinder head and all the other parts that I need to go with either our engine or the short block engine ordered tonight, because the guys coming down from Washington to California, he'd bring the cylinder head down for free. So it's nice saving money, but it's also nice just swapping the engine. Well, we got the driveline off so far. Man, these U-joints are stuck. A lot of work to get them out. Now we got this front drive shaft with the carrier bearing. So I'm gonna get the jack under it. I'm gonna undo the carrier bearing, and then we're gonna undo it over there at the trains, and we're gonna move it aside. I'm debating if I want to move this exhaust pipe out of the way. Should be all right, because I don't think we have to come down that far with the transmission. And when we get this drive shaft, the front drive shaft out of the way, we'll have a little bit more room to work with, because this takes up a lot of room under here. So yeah, this has never been removed either, so it's kind of a good sign. Truck's never been towed, I guess. We got all the driveline out. Now we're removing the transmission. We're doing the top bolts and the bell housing, which are not very fun to get to. And then we're gonna leave a couple on each side. I'm gonna leave these bottom ones, then we'll put our transmission jack under here. The 4x4 or something to make up the difference. We'll throw a strap around it, and we'll wiggle her loose. We got an air line up at the top, and then we got an electrical connector on this side. That's kind of a pain to get to, that we're gonna get to when we lower it a little bit. So Cummins eating. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Those U-joints were pretty stuck in there, man. Had to use some elbow grease. Look at that. Even the cows don't like it. We're working on the top bell housing bolts, and I gotta go in through here and down there. As you see here, actually you don't see yet, let me show you. they put anti-seize on these bolts, which is freaking amazing. It really is, but they all come out fairly easy. But just as luck would have it, every single damn time, the hardest one to get to is the biggest pain in the ass to come out. So I'm fighting that. I'm going to get that bolt out. The rest should be a little bit easier. And then we're probably going to go make dinner. I don't know if I'll pull this trans yet today. I'd like to. If not, we'll do it tomorrow. All right.
Well, that's why I said all the rebuilds we've done for quick trucking or anybody that uses those experimental oils, I've never seen, to be honest with you, I've never seen anything crazy come from it, you know, as far as bearing wear or anything like that.
What were they using? What kind of oil were they using? Because the salesman told me, the salesman couldn't even tell me what the hell they were using.
Yeah, I don't know either. We weren't privy to that information, to be honest with you.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
About the only thing we knew is, you know, they dropped it off and we rebuilt it and used the oil they told us to, essentially.
Yeah.
So,
No, I hear you.
But like I said, unfortunately, we are closed today. I apologize it took you this long to get a hold of somebody. But now that I have your information, what I'll do is I'll get with, like I said, our service team first thing in the morning, and we'll kind of go over it. And I'll, you know, regardless of what they say, what they don't say, I'll give you a call just to know that, let you know I spoke with them and they're working on it. So.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it. And I'll send you. Yeah, you too. And I'll send you an email with the video.
All right, sounds good, bud.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm good.
Cummins Power, call me back. The Greensboro guy, actually. They are on. So yesterday was Labor Day. Everybody got drunk, and today they got the day off so they can recover from their hangovers. They're observing Labor Day. That was yesterday. It's back to work. So he wants us to send him the video. So I don't know if you want to clean it up a little bit. And when I was taking it apart, and then send them pictures of this, and basically he said he's going to talk to them and see what they'll do. He says, like you heard him, he said, don't hold your breath, but maybe they'll give us some parts or something and go with that.
I mean, anything would be a blessing at this moment in time. Martin is moving the Mazda because we're expecting a very special delivery here in about 1 minute.
Head.
Say what?
Some head.
A head.
A head.
They're heavier.
Are they heavier?
Yeah.
They're heavier than the 3406 C59?
Yeah.
Oh shit. You want me to help?
Yeah, that's okay. That's not that bad. No, it's not too bad. I'm short. I got short legs. They worked out just right.
I got the same problem.
They're high nickel, high alloy casting materials. The valve guides, valve seats, the valves, they're harder than the Cummins castings.
Yeah.
And then they got increased cooling capacity by about 10%.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
This has rated for up to 1,000.
I don't think I'm ever going to make that with an extra key.
But it's in the bag if you need to.
That's awesome. You hear that? We can make 1,000.
Yeah, I can't imagine Tiny being one of those drag racing trucks though.
Why do the Cummins heads always drop valves?
Because the valve material is wrong.
Is it?
The valve material is wrong. It gets too hot, it gets stuck in the guide, and it pulls it apart.
Oh,
that's my
way.
opinion. And it'll happen too on an Inconel valve if it gets hot enough, but you got to work.
Yeah.
You got to work it really hard.
You got to work.
Yeah.
Martin said that you build a lot of these for like the racing trucks.
Yeah.
So that,
This one right here is
You guys-
on the engine. It's almost 1,000.
It's an O-ring head. So basically there's an O-ring inside the combustion chamber. To keep it from
I don't
blowing
understand that, but I
gas
understand 1,000 horsepower.
out. It's for a crap load of, it's to hold a crap load of boost.
Yeah.
All of it.
Chili,
Well,
if you look
If they can handle a race truck, then it can handle us just hauling freight.
Well, if you look up Chili Dog, there's a W900 that he did a half-mile race on 1340 video. That was on there. His head.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that truck was hammered down for like a half a mile, pulling everybody.
That thing was getting it.
I don't forget.
So a little bit of poor planning on Martin's part. We need a way to offload this. So right now all we're going to do is push it in the back of Martin's pickup, and then I'm not sure if he's going to get the engine hoist up here to get it off, or if we're going to use our neighbor's Bobcat, but he'll figure that out later. But in order not to hold up these guys, we're just gonna put it in the back of our pickup. Those are gaskets?
Cryo-treated head bolts.
As opposed to heat treated?
Yeah. I don't know if Cummins heat treats anything. Stronger. Much stronger. For the same price, if not actually less.
So Robert, what's the best way for people to find you? Like through your phone number or website or what?
Phone number or on Facebook, really.
You're on Facebook? What are you under on Facebook?
Robert Calixto.
Okay.
That's me. And this is brand new. This isn't rebuilt. So APC, Robert, he doesn't need a core. This is their stage 2 head, which you guys heard of. Better cooling, 10% better cooling, Inconel valves, hardened seats, all that jazz. It's way better than the Cummins head. So as you guys saw, those bolt holes, I had to get a really long extension and use a big impact because I just can't reach that, and I don't have the patience to remove that exhaust pipe to get in there. Other than that, she's ready for the jack. Then we just have a few bolts on the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we got 5, 6, 7. 7 bolts. And she's coming out. All right, well, we got her jack. We got her ratchet strapped. And let's go ahead and do some bolts. We got an airline at the top that I need to get out. Maybe I can get to it. I guess we'll see. Alright. Today's just kind of one of those days where I just can't get in the groove. I think I wasted most of the day screwing around. Well, screwing around. Whatever the hell you want to call it. But, yeah, it sucks. Let me see if I can get to that airline from the top. That's a clutch. It's totally different from your typical twin disc Eaton Fuller 15.5 inch. This is only a single disc and a pressure plate. And this whole deal is the actuator and all that crap. And the computer tells it what to do. These likely don't fail in these Eatons, like let's say the DT12 Freightliners. But see, like all this stuff, that's clutch material. That's normal. You're gonna see that. I'm not gonna see what this clutch looks like till we take the pressure plate off, which I'm not gonna do that right now. because we have other crap to be doing before that. Like right now, we need to take this engine out.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex zone.